Doc Henson with you. Today what we're going to do is I'm going to be changing out the connector from the standard one in this Glock. This is a 40 cal. It's a Glock 22. I'm going to be changing out the connector from a 5.5 to a 3.5, and we're going to see the difference in trigger pulls. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a few of the trigger pulls from the stock Glock and give my impressions on it, and then I'll show you the difference after we get that 3.5 in. Alright, here we have the normal trigger. It's the 5.5 still in it. What you have is you have that take up that all Glocks have. I'm not sure the poundage of it, but it's lighter than the actual trigger. Comes back to a point, and when you get to that point, this one has a pretty crisp break, but it is still that 6.5, 6, whatever the Glock standard is. Some of them are, they're a little bit different, but it stops and then has a really clean break. And I'll show you one more time here. I'm gonna try to get down there where you can really see it. It comes back right there. It doesn't have very much travel, very crisp break. So here we go. See that little bit of movement, and then it breaks. So that's the standard trigger in it, and we're going to throw that 3.5 in and see what it does, and show you that in just a second. All right, and we're back. We got that 3.5 pound connector in this Glock. Again, it's a Glock 22, and you saw the trigger before. Now I'm going to show you the trigger now. I do notice just a little bit of a lighter trigger, and it does have more creep in it, but it is lighter, and I'll kind of explain that. Before it come back and it stopped, and then it broke very, very crisp. Now it still comes back. It comes back to that point, but when you get there, I don't know if you can see that slight movement. I'm gonna try to hold this gun very still so you can see it. Okay, it comes back to there, and you see all that movement after that stop point. So you have, to me, way more creep. The thing I actually like about a Glock trigger is that it doesn't have any creep. It comes back and then stops and then snaps. Now it adds that creep. So as you can see that it has more creep. Now the trigger is lighter. It's not a 3.5 pound trigger. Usually the 3.5 pound connectors don't bring the trigger down to that. I would say it's probably around 4.5, maybe 5, but you don't have that wall, so it kind of just goes on through. But it is definitely lighter than before. One thing I will mention that I didn't mention just a minute ago with the stock trigger connector in it is the reset. So let's go ahead and snap it. The reset is still, still in the same spot, and it's about the same. If it's anything, it might be just a touch less of a reset, but you can definitely feel it and definitely hear it. So let's go ahead and do it. It's still there. The reset's fine, but just note, and if anybody's looking to trade out their connector, that it is probably going to make the trigger a little bit more mushy, would be my word I use, because it's mushy when you get there, and then you have that that play and that all that movement in there, just mush instead of just that and then break. But it has lightened the trigger up. So that's it for this video, and maybe that helps out somebody looking to put in a different connector in their Glock. It's a very minor, easy modification to do. Very, very easy to do, and might give you the trigger you want, especially if you get some other trigger parts or add a 25-cent trigger job to it, which I'm actually going to do on this one to see what it does too. It may just make this trigger way better. It may make it more crisp. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. I appreciate you watching this video though. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. I'm also on Patreon at real.kenson. And if you want to help my channel out, you can go over there. Appreciate you watching though. Y'all have a good one.